If this runs over an hour, I'll have to excuse myself.
Oh, it shouldn't. Yeah, 'cause
Well,
I-
could you turn your shirt down a little bit so we can hear?
Well, I tried to put everybody's eye out.
No, I like
I
that.
appreciate it.
I do too.
You look happy.
Uh-huh.
I am.
Always
Well,
love.
that's
long
always inspiring,
socks.
yeah.
People in a very nice attire and then these crazy socks underneath. It's like, oh, you are fun.
I started wearing, I think I own 57 Hawaiian shirt type things like this.
Gosh.
So I have decided to just embrace it.
It sounds like you already made that decision 56 shirts ago.
Well,
Embrace
I
it.
didn't fully embrace it until I crossed the 50 barrier. And then it was like,
Oh, well.
you know, I may as well just wear these all the time.
You go 2 years straight without
Yeah.
repeating.
This shirt's kind of subdued loud. It's got a loud pattern that's just muted
Yeah.
colors.
We ready?
Yes, sir.
I'd like to call to order the Economic Development Corporation meeting for the City of White House, May 15th, 2025. It is 12 noon. Susan, would you call our roll, please?
Yes, sir. Bob Breedlove, Charles Parker,
Here.
Ernie LaFleur,
Here.
John Chambers,
Here.
Maria Davenport, Tom Trimble,
Here.
and Jerry Aiken.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Great. Approval of the minutes from the EDC meeting of April 17th, 2025. I believe you've all had an opportunity to review those. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Second.
Jerry made second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, the motion approves. Item C, presentations. Don't believe we have any. Item D is the agenda items. Item 1, discussion, consideration, update, and action on sponsorship and participation in the City Center grand opening event.
Yes, sir. Board members, I wanted to give you an update of what we've done thus far since we met last. I have met with the charcuterie, and so we have
With
gone. Charcuterie.
Oh.
She's the, I know, Bree is the lady who would be doing our charcuterie and hot hors d'oeuvres, or heavy hors d'oeuvres. I've been told that we had been saying hot, and we can do hot. I just wanted to kind of give you an overview of what we talked about. The charcuterie cups would be individually wrapped in like cellophane paper, so there's not any, anyway, they're individually wrapped. It would be like a pub mix on the bottom. We're not doing nuts. She would normally do nuts, but I'm afraid of allergies. I don't want that for anyone. Some cheese cubes, the meat, tomato, and some fruit, and a cracker. That's all going to be in the little cup. So we'll have those, and then for the heavy hors d'oeuvres, she has several options. I tried to pick things that would be like a little bit easier for you to move around and maybe eat while you're walking as you're going through the center. But if we want to do something else that is more of a hot hors d'oeuvre, we do have that option we could do because we have the banquet space that's going to be set up, so people could go and sit and eat something that's a little not as portable if we want to do that. What I had picked out previously, and it's not set in stone, she's happy to make changes, up until very close to the time. Some caprese skewers, brie bites, antipasta skewers, I cannot say that word very well. And then 2 different kinds of pinwheels. There's a cranberry feta pinwheel and then a bacon ranch pinwheel.
I don't know what half the words you just used.
Leslie,
We
you
have a
have to help me
demonstration.
slightly with this. A caprese is like a round of mozzarella and a basil and tomato. That's what that is. And then the antipasta would be like, she said it was a tortellini, and I can't remember what else she said. It's a tortellini and a couple of other little things. But they're they're not sauced. But the tortellinis are soaked in something to give it the flavor.
And this is the hot.
I don't know if that, I don't think that would be hot.
Okay.
But that's the heavy appetizer. Now, for hot options, if we want to look at those, she does a meatball, a peach bruschetta, which is like, the bruschetta bread with some cheese, and then she could do peach, or I think she said raspberry, either of those. It's like a jam or jelly on top. She does mini chicken salad sandwiches and ham and turkey sliders. Her hesitancy for us with this, and she also does a mini chicken and waffle, is that sometimes as people are going through, they think of that as more as we're giving them a meal instead of just an appetizer, so they'll take more than one at a time, and those tend to go faster than anything else. But we can do that, and then she also does a hot artichoke dip.
I like the walk-around charcuterie cup.
Well, we're getting all,
That's in addition
that's,
to?
well,
That
it's,
makes sense.
in the price that she quoted us, we get the cups plus, I think she said 5 of the appetizer options, the heavy appetizers.
I guess one question I have is, I'm trying to think what the venue is gonna be like. Is there, this is gonna be kind of in the reception area of the open area? Do
Well-
we want people walking around with stuff, or do we wanna just say the eating is in this area? Cause that kind of influences, like you say, what you're gonna.
Right. I thought the purpose of the space was to show it off and to have people walking
Right,
around.
yeah.
So that's the reason I was going with the more easily traveling types of things.
Okay.
But, I mean, the part of the event space is the banquet center, so it will be set up, and they could easily sit down and eat the hot, the less portable options as well. When speaking with her, she feels it's better for us to have 2 tables to do the charcuterie cups on one table by itself, and then do the hot or the heavier appetizers on a separate table. We had a meeting this morning with our grand opening committee, and what we were thinking is the cups go in the co-working space. There's a little kitchen area there with a bar height counter, a little setup with refrigerator and all that, so she could keep her back stock in that refrigerator, and we'd have our setup of the charcuterie cups there. And then we could have a table near the banquet hall to do the other appetizers if we want. And so therefore we could do something less portable if y'all would really like. Did I miss anything from this one?
The idea of I love bruschetta, but if you're having charcuterie where it's all cheese and stuff, then having bruschetta, it's just an Italian
another-
charcuterie. It's another, just a bunch of cheese,
Right.
basically.
I like the idea of cold stuff
Okay.
more, but that's just me. I think that's better, and people are used to going to events and things like that where it's mostly, meats and cheeses and whatever and all that. Where, yeah, I think you're getting a little too involved if you start cooking.
Okay.
Just my opinion, y'all.
Well,
Yeah.
I came back. That's the feedback we needed. I wanted to know what, your opinion, since you've graciously given us the money to do this. I want y'all to be happy.
And what's were we looking at?
Right about $31.50. That includes her setup, and she will stay and refill as needed, so one of us, the staff, won't have to do that. And that, I didn't realize that it's $75 an hour. So originally it was $3,100. She's waiving the $100 delivery fee because she's very close to us, and so she's waiving that fee. And so her time staying there had not been accounted for, but it turns out it's only $50 more than what we originally had said. So I feel like that's
Okay.
well worth it.
I like the idea of utilizing different aspects of the center so people can see the kitchen and area like that as they're doing that, but also having some stuff out there in a banquet style so that they can utilize that and see the tables and sit down if they want to, but I think the purpose is I guess, is to walk around and look at everything, so I like the handheld, just walk around and eat.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's right,
Okay.
Tom, spreading it out.
You said there's a limited
think
number of invitations, right?
We're looking at 200, correct?
Yeah, but it
But
won't be
it's
limited,
open.
we'll be sharing
Yeah,
it
it'll be open
for
to
the
the
entire
public.
community to attend.
Okay,
We're planning for 200. That's where the
Okay.
200 came in.
okay, gotcha.
Date is still very tentative, it's changing on a daily basis, I feel like, right now, so, we'll keep y'all posted as we get a little bit closer.
Okay, so if we're good on that, I wanted to, I've also some ideas for little swag bags.
Tom thought it was changing because of him.
Oh.
He's like, is it me? Are we changing? I'm like, no, it's not.
I was like, oh, please no.
In our meeting this morning we had with the grand opening committee, what is being tossed around and I think is a great idea is for chamber, EDC, and the city to kind of go together and maybe do a bag of some sort with all of our logos on it, and then we all put our items in, our branded items in, and we have it set up like a table where you just go and grab one. That's kind of that's what's being tossed around. I want to get your opinion on that. But I did go and have them, I got some items, I called Performa and said, hey, what's your best sellers? You know, what's the best things that y'all have found? These little cups, obviously this would not be ours. I don't know exactly what this is, National School Breakfast Week, but it's this kind of cup, and I'll pass them around so you can feel it. But to me, it's fairly sturdy. I would like to have this type of cup at my house if I were using it, and these are 79 cents a piece.
And have our logo and
They
stuff
have
on
our
it?
logo, yeah, have
Oh, okay.
EDC logo on it, so yeah.
Nice.
How these are branded is not what they will look like.
Okay, that's cute.
I really like this little item too. It's a glasses cleaner. You can use it
Oh,
for your glasses or
yeah.
your phone or whatever. And these are 90 cents a piece. And if y'all want to open the bag, you can. We have koozies. Koozies are not my thing, but I know some people really like them. Those are 70 cents a piece. And then sticky notes. They're supposed to be 25 sheets in here. There's really not 25 sheets on this one. I have a feeling somebody had used it. That's fine. These are 38 cents a piece.
Okay.
And I had asked for a nicer pen, but I have kind of a couple ideas that we talked about this morning. We could put these in our cups or whatever. They're not quite as nice, but I would like to get some nicer pens for when I go out and start doing business retention
for
and
sure.
expansion, so
Yes.
we can give them something a little nicer. And also have that for when we have meetings, people are coming in to meet with the EDC, maybe do a nicer notepad and a pen to put in the conference room when they come in. So this would not be that, this would be more just for the swag bags.
Like that, cause it sits on somebody's desk with branding right on the top.
They had also sent me this, I didn't ask for it, and I'm not as impressed with it. It's a rally towel, but it's not, I don't know, it's just not the quality that I was thinking of, and that's like 207.
Or a glass cleaner.
I'm
It
not
could be, but
Are we rallying something right here?
What would you use it for?
well, we were just, I asked them for their best sellers
Right, right.
of their promotional items. So
I
that
got
was-
a number of those, I use them to clean the dog
Sounds
off.
like a
when it
chamois.
comes
I
in.
think
Yeah.
that is, I
Yeah.
think that's
Sham wow.
Sam Wow.
Maybe, I don't know, but they're 207 a piece.
Yeah.
I just wasn't as
It was
impressed with
very
that one.
absorbent.
That's low bang for the buck.
Yeah. And then he also sent me one of these, and I would not suggest it for this, but maybe for Bree, for business retention and expansion visits, have a few of these.
For
Put your
sure.
pen in, some candy, and just hand them one, thank them for their time. But
like that idea.
that
This
would
is-
be
I do too. This is nice.
not for this.
Right.
One thing that I had in my stuff, and I meant to bring one, and I think I'm out, in some of my promotional items, is I had these little silver balls that looked like they were ornaments or something, but it's lip balm.
Oh, yeah.
And And it's a real novelty type thing, and people love that. So, I
Okay.
mean, it's like the most popular thing. Every time I have an event and go to a convention or something,
And it's logoed.
yeah, that stuff just, you know.
So we go to
disappears.
events a lot, and I don't know, y'all get all of our promotional stuff when TML and stuff like that. What do we give that y'all actually like?
You give high
So
dollar
we're
things.
always
Yeah.
trying to like think about what that is. Susan and I were talking today. I think I'll tell you what I keep. Branded thumb drives. Cause I always need a thumb drive if
Yep.
I'm going somewhere. I pulled one
Good to
out
say that.
one day this week. You can get them preloaded with documents. That's what Susan and I were talking about. You could preload it with your
Little
EDC
propaganda.
information.
I
So
do
it
like
comes
that.
up every time. They're a little bit more expensive. I don't know if necessarily for this
For
event.
this
I
event?
don't know, but
So-
I
Now-
do keep those.
We stopped doing that because we don't allow thumb drives on our computers anymore as a
Yeah.
company.
We don't even-
That's
And so
a good point.
that would, I might not work for everybody, but I do love thumb drives.
Well, even just at your house, you would use one.
I use it, I do use it at the house.
I think the little sticky pads are always a great idea, cause I know I get
keep
those
those.
at every convention, I got them scattered over, but it causes you to, you know, you always are using them, and you always see what's on top, you know, so it's something that you know, sticks around and you actually look.
And a good pen is important,
Right.
you know.
Now, that is, even the pen that I showed you, there's another one, those are 50 cents a piece. There's another one that he didn't have a sample of that I think we would like better, and it's 57 cents a piece. It looks a little nicer, it's not quite as,
That looks a little cheesy.
Yeah.
yeah.
The
Well,
ones
that's-
you all pass out were nice, I still carry my Encore
Yeah.
pen around, those were pretty, and I love that
So it works.
Stanley
That's
water.
what you just heard.
That Stanley water.
Yeah.
thing,
Stanley water
Those are
bottles.
expensive, but that's one of my favorite water bottles.
We have I know we can, the battery chargers that we don't do that for everybody,
Yeah,
just,
those are more expensive.
but they have smaller ones and that are kind of square that we use for just random events that are not bad. My wife carries one in her purse, and my daughters usually carry one of those in their backpacks. But of course, they steal the ones like we gave out at TML. They steal that one every time I bring it home, and I'm like, I can't keep getting these. So
Because those are very expensive.
yeah,
I
Yeah,
like the
that's
cup.
These, I take these up everywhere I go.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Oh,
And the city ordered a bunch, and I think we got them for less than $5 a piece. We have a bunch in gray and blue that we're going to use for like when we host a training or something. When we, something a little bit nicer. But these might be good to have in your EDC conference room.
I see two things here.
There's two different.
Yes.
You know, one, you're trying to give something maybe memorable at an event that probably should be pretty low cost.
Yes.
And then, but you want some nicer things for actual prospects and
Yeah, real
customers and
Yep.
clients
I
and
agree.
so forth. So, you know, I mean, I have no problem either way, but, you know, some little package like that is fine. But I think if you're gonna order pens, order a lot of pens. I know that storage is an issue, but, make sure it's a good pen. I mean,
Yeah.
That's what we were
you know,
talking about.
We were talking about that. I think we could do a decently priced pen to give away at this event, but then get something a little bit nicer for prospects.
I got
or-
one at a.
Right.
I got one at a deal a couple weeks ago, or actually just a couple months ago, and it was a real ink pen, really nice pen, and it busted. So my whole shirt was.
Oh, no.
It was one of those deals where I just took it straight to the cleaners. It all came out.
Oh, good.
Anyway, you know,
Or they fall apart in my purse, and then I get
And
really
it's all-
mad.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you don't want to go.
Yeah, El Cheapo.
You don't want to go too far with that ink, but, you know, they make some nice ballpoints out
You said the difference was 6 cents a pen?
Well, I don't know what the other one is like. It looks
Oh.
nice, or I haven't actually seen, he's supposed to be getting a sample of that for me. I haven't actually seen it. But yes, the two pens that he quoted me in here, that one was the 50-cent pen, and then there's a 57-cent pen. That's a little bit nicer.
I would probably go with an even nicer.
Yeah,
you wanna
I'd go
with
something a
like
little better.
Okay.
That's where,
We can get some cheap ones, we have
'Cause
some city ones.
just order them at once, in
Yeah.
my opinion. I don't, saving 10 cents a pen or whatever, it's just order the same one.
Yeah, with the, probably the ones I was looking at for prospects would be more along a couple of dollars a pen. They're nicer
Oh, gotcha,
pens,
gotcha.
but I could do more than, 50 cents a pen. I can look at something like that. Okay, so we think a pen. Do you want me to get prices on the lip balm? Did y'all like the lip balm idea?
The pen, the Post-it notes, and something else.
I think the
Yeah.
Post-it notes stick around.
I like those.
Okay, or the thumb drive?
I don't know that I would.
No, I don't want
No,
that.
that'd be for,
Not for
I
that,
love
okay.
them, but,
Okay. So pen, Post-it.
too many employers put a crackdown on all that.
Okay.
I don't mind, I mean, I like the cup. I mean, you're talking about in the cup?
Well, in the cup, because we could do them in the cup if we don't want to participate and do the little bags. We were thinking bags similar to a gift bag, like a white bag, and then we print all of the logos on the bag, and we put all of the things in a bag, and we have those just on one table as people walk in.
I would
I
like,
like the cup.
I like the cup, and
Okay.
honestly, we can do that if that's what y'all wanna do, but I like the idea of just the cup with all the little goodies all in there. And it's all just EDC and we kinda stand out. Am I being selfish?
No, I think that's kind of your option. I guess that's the question. How much of it is our event versus,
Well, to me,
obviously we want the chamber and everybody involved, so they got really open it
Yeah.
up, so.
well, just the fact, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, because I think that's what y'all want me to do, but
Yes.
it is an event
Where
that,
everybody-
for the city. It's the city built the building, it's their
That's true.
building, we're having our office there, yes, and of course they want us to participate, obviously. But do we need to be a little more, collaborative?
I get it.
Community driven, yes.
Yeah.
Good point.
I still like the idea of the bag together, that's fine, but can we, put all the stuff in a cup, and so when you pull it out, you pull the cup out at one, and it'll all be EDC stuff coming out.
Yeah,
of
we can do
cup,
that,
so.
for sure.
The
That way
bag
it's
is
all together.
paper?
Probably a paper bag. We've looked at some, the fabric bags that are smaller. They wouldn't be big enough like for a grocery bag, because the grocery bags are too
Yeah.
expensive.
Yeah,
But they're smaller, and I'm afraid they're just gonna get
the
thrown away.
reuse is not good, yeah.
It's not a good
No, I got this.
size for a reusable bag.
So I use reusable bags when I grocery
Mhm.
shop, but I like a very specific one, and I never use the other kinds
Right.
that I get
And
anywhere else.
Same,
These that we
Okay.
are looking at, they're more like a
Very
lunch
particular.
bag.
Oh,
They're more
okay.
that size, and
Yeah.
I don't know how many people would reuse that. I'm afraid it would just get thrown away.
yeah.
It's more like a box. Very type A.
Obviously.
The conference I went to on Friday, I have a year's supply of toothbrushes now.
Is it a dental
Really?
conference?
Really happy to hear that for you, Charles.
Yeah, I just want you to know my deal.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, so bringing this back around, I hear cup, pen, and Post-it notes.
The eyeglass thing.
Oh.
I like the eyeglass,
Yeah,
and people can use those.
I like eyeglasses.
I use those at the house, my daughter needs them desperately, so I like that one.
Okay.
Koozie, I could take her later.
Yeah.
I've got a
Yeah.
million koozies at my house.
Yeah.
If I bring another one home, my wife will.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
hard.
they were a fad for a long time, but now like you, I got probably 50 of them.
Mhm.
Well, and that's not bad. We've got the cup, the pen, Post-it, and then the eyeglass thing. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty much what you see right there
Yeah,
anyway.
I like it.
So,
I'm good with that.
okay.
Minus the spirit towel.
Yeah.
Yeah, not the spirit towel and not the koozie,
Or whatever you called that.
Yeah.
Maybe that's better than rally towel, spirit towel.
Sure.
So that's what they call
Unless
it.
y'all wanna get toothbrush.
Now, I will say, a microfiber towel, I've got those in one of these bags, and I use that to clean my windshield and all, I keep it in my truck. It is kind of a handy little tool.
Yeah.
Is that what that is, microfiber?
I couldn't tell.
Yeah, well, what didn't really feel like
Looks
a
a
good
little puny,
microfiber.
doesn't it?
I don't think so.
Maybe we can put a bow in there.
I don't think it's.
I think for
Yeah.
free stuff that you're just going to a grand opening, I think it's fine.
Free stuff
Yeah,
is pretty
no,
awesome.
I think that's terrific.
I know, a piece of tissue paper.
You want a
There we-
piece of tissue.
so
I mean, we
it
could
looks
easily do that. That's
That'll
true, we
make
could
it
do
a
that.
little- Yeah. People want me to like put it under the, iced tea spigot or something.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay, that sounds good.
all right, that's good. I don't know, I put it in your packets, but I didn't upload it to this presentation. I've also looked at, the roll-up that you've talked about.
Yeah, these things here.
Yes, those. Well, unless you printed out your packet, Charles, you don't have it,
I
so
just-
Ernie may have to share. So I've looked at those. The one that I think is the best one for us to go with is the deluxe retractable. I like the same size that they show with the standard, the 33 by 81. And it's $100 versus, I think it was like $150. It's been cut off, but I want to say it was like $150. But it looks nicer, and it also goes along with, if y'all switch to the other page, there's these small little tabletop ones. They're about this tall. And I think that would be great to put on our tables where our charcuterie cups are and where the hot appetizers are, to show that, hey, this
Well,
is
these can
us.
be used
Yeah.
over and over
And
and
it
over
can be
again.
used
Yeah.
over and over again.
Yeah.
So she's
I'm
saying.
a big
something natural.
proponent of not trying to
Yeah,
go
I
for
like
the
what you
cheapest
said.
thing if you're gonna reuse it,
Right,
because you
I'm
won't,
with you.
even if you could, you won't,
right,
unless you have something you like.
You can
and
get
Right.
so-
both.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think she was thinking of getting.
I mean,
this
if you've got
and-
other ideas, that I'm great.
If
to-
you were happy with the,
yeah,
I
I think
those.
it's a
The
good
deluxe.
start for us anyway, to see how we like them, how much we use them, that type of thing. So,
I see how much Tyler EDC uses theirs, and they change theirs out quite often and put different things on it for special events. So they get a bunch of them, but I think starting out, getting one real nice, get everything on it that we want,
right,
use it for a few events, and then we'll see the value in it pretty easily.
and see if we need to do something else or what. I wasn't sure about what to put on it, so Leslie had a great idea this morning. I think I will get in touch with ETCOG, their communications director who helped us with our website. I think she would probably be willing to help us. I don't know that for sure.
With
but
like a
she-
slogan?
No, not with slogan, with designing what goes on
Oh, I
the
see.
actual
Gotcha.
roll-up material. So she can help us put it together, what things we want. I like the idea of the QR code.
I do too.
That would go directly to our main page. And then
Yes.
we don't have to have as much on them because it would take you directly to that, and you can see everything on our website.
Something about our new park would be good on there. You know, something about, parks or something on your roll-up thing.
On the EDC one, or have the.
Yeah, this is
city do
specifically
that?
for the EDC, not for
Yeah,
the
but
city.
aren't we, yeah, okay, yeah, I guess that's right. I was thinking that, how we're adding to the quality of life here is a real draw to businesses,
That's true.
but yeah, maybe.
Because I'm thinking like bullet points would be, something like we offer quality of life incentives, we offer, or maybe not incentives, but we do quality of life projects, we offer incentives, if you're coming in, just like little bullet points of the broad things that we do, instead of trying to get too deep in the weeds, where they do have to be changed a lot. Just my thoughts.
I'm good with your picks.
I like that. I like the one you picked too.
Yeah, I do too.
Okay. All right.
Do we need to make a motion of any kind, or did we already do that? I can't.
You approved the budget, so I just wanted your
What
feedback.
did we give, 55?
45.
45, subject to review based on that staff.
Are we still within that?
I think so, until I get all of the numbers back and get back, I would say yes.
All right,
Little side question, are we gonna get a preview of the building before the opening?
Maybe when it gets a little bit closer and it's not an active construction site.
Oh, yeah.
You couldn't get in or out of there the other day we were down there. It is like a hill of ants down there. There are people everywhere right now. So,
good.
probably when they get substantially complete and maybe right before we start moving in furniture would be a good time to, get down there, so.
Nice.
If we can
Okay.
arrange it, maybe we'll do it during a EDC
So, yeah, we
meeting.
could do that.
Just, we all meet here and then we walk down and
That'd be great.
take a look.
all right,
Okay,
all
I'm
right,
good.
we're good? Moving on to item 2, discussion and update on the retail coach.
I don't have as much information on this item because our meeting with the retail coach had to be rescheduled. We were supposed to meet with them on Tuesday, but because of some of their travel arrangements right now, they needed to reschedule and we're meeting with them on Friday. I can tell you that interest with us still, it remains strong. They're still talking to different prospects. We have some who are in more of a holding pattern. They're waiting for later in the quarters, later quarters to maybe look at things. I can't really show all of this, but these are all of the people that they are either actively talking to, have talked to,
Quite a few.
that they are pursuing for us. The ICSC Las Vegas is coming up. It's May 19th and 20th, so they're really gearing up for that. They have, where is it? There's people who are coming. We have one hotel that has asked to meet with them in Las Vegas, so they're going to talk to them as well. There was somebody else, and I'm sorry, I thought I had it highlighted, and apparently I do not. They do have several appointments lined up specifically for White House at the ICSC Las Vegas, and I'll know more about those when we have our meeting with them on Friday.
Susan, just a quick question. You mentioned something there, and I guess I'd never considered it before, but you said people were waiting for later quarters. Is it common that a lot of these industries are cyclic like that in their investment profiles? And if they are, do we know what that is?
I do not necessarily know what that is, but it's, what I'm looking at here is really more restaurants, either quick service or fast casual, that they're looking to expand. They've got some things already committed to right now, and so they need to wait until a later quarter to look at doing additional expansions.
I think that, just for me, that would be an interesting data point, if Retail Coach can segregate the data like that, or aggregate the data that way, so it basically says that they look for commitments during some
What time,
period,
yeah.
and then usually you see award around sometime, so we can kind of stage our focus based on that.
Based on just some preliminary conversations that we've had about some restaurants, I would say, I don't know that there's an industry
It's not.
standard. I think it's
But I'm
just
saying like
dependent upon
across
the individual
industries. Yeah.
restaurant owner, I think,
Individuals.
because we know one had a planning meeting pretty early on in this year, that we didn't make it to the next round on, and then a lot of the restaurants that they've been talking to they're chains, but they're more regional chains, and so, they've made the comment a couple of times, oh, their real estate person moves really slow on some of these things, and so it's not as, routine as doing it one time a year. But
I guess I wouldn't
do
just-
it one time a year.
I wouldn't pin it to like that, like, so I'm not asking all the way down to that level. It's like, if the food industry tends to trend in this investment way, and then you see investments of small business tend to make their financial forecast, you know, because everybody's fiscal year can vary, right? So it depends on how they stage that, and there are too many. So if we just had some broad data that said, spend your time with small businesses during the first 3 months of the year, restaurants the second 3 months, whatever that is, right?
That's a great question.
So-
Okay.
Makes sense.
Part of what I'm seeing from looking at this is just site availability here. Most of the businesses looking want to be on Highway 110, and we have limited space on 110. We have opened up some from we had told you about that at the past meeting. We had a couple of local property owners who have property along 110 who are more interested now in doing some ground leases. So we have given them that information, and there is one on here that may help them out, because that's what they're wanting. They're wanting a ground lease, but they want it along Highway 110.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that we can maybe marry those two together and make something happen. So they're still looking at the sites.
Do they mainly want 110 between the Four Corners and Tyler, or are they okay with going south towards Troop a little bit?
They want north.
Yeah. That's what I was afraid of.
Where the donut shop is probably one of the most prime locations
Oh, I know. Yeah.
as well.
So that's really what I have right now, unless y'all have any more questions.
Nope.
Unless
Okay,
anyone
moving
has-
on.
I was just gonna say, I think if we hear anything on Friday, we can always send you an email update
Yes.
on any pertinent information that needs to be passed along.
That'd be great.
All right, moving on to item 3 of the agenda, discussion and brainstorming and entertainment and event space venue.
So when we left our last meeting, I was gonna reach out to someone I knew. I have not done that yet. We're knee-deep in budget season right now. So it's still on my list of things to do, but I don't have an update for you on that one. I apologize.
Item 4,
Hey, can I
consider,
mention something real quick there? Something for us to think about, this is just a thought for folks, is how we just talked about how all the commercial businesses tend to wanna be on 110 and be towards Tyler. A value of a entertainment event space venue is to get us off on a space that's not as frequently used, and then make it a place where then other commercial businesses are gonna wanna go to. So that's an interesting draw for, you know, for us to all think about.
So I went with another EDC group to Huntsville, Alabama, on an intercity trip. And one of the things we went and saw was a amphitheater, the Orion Amphitheater in Huntsville. And they built the amphitheater, and then they were able to build an entire community around the amphitheater. Now, it was beautiful, nice, 8,000 person amphitheater where they put in big names like they had Stevie Nicks, they had Turnpike Troubadours. I mean, you're talking about big names coming in through there. But it was interesting because there's still an opportunity because, you know, why did we go there with that particular EBC is probably because they might be looking at something like that too. So partnership, something like that with another EDC might be a way to look at a big event venue or something like that.
Lindale they've made a big deal out of that too, you know.
Yes.
Having their event up
Lindale has talked about it, Tyler's talked about it, other cities are talking about it. When you see it, it's pretty spectacular.
there. Is it indoor or outdoor?
It was outdoor.
All outdoor.
how many acres would you need for parking and all that, 20?
They had parking all around because of the other, it's more of a community venue, and so they have farmers markets in there. They have, parades go through there. They've set it aside, but there's also shops and businesses, and it was probably, I think it was like 30 something acres.
Yeah.
So 30 to 40 acres, but it was spectacular. I mean, it was one of those where you walk in, and we walked around the whole place. They do food competitions, and they'll have 20,000 people there. But it's worth seeing every once in a while. But I would also say, I'll talk about this in future business. So.
Having said that, item 4 is consider future agenda items.
Well,
So keep going.
next time that so Tyler did the intercity trip, and next time they do that, it would be. I was able to go to it this year. It'd be great for Susan to go on that because, one of the reason we went to Huntsville is Huntsville and Madison are intertwined. Huntsville surrounds Madison City, and it's in the whole thing's in Madison County, but Huntsville's the manufacturing, the everything. They're kind of like Tyler. Madison great school districts, amazing schools, and great neighborhoods, great living spaces and stuff like that. And it just reminded me so much of what we have. But Madison was able to go in and get a minor league baseball team. They were able to go in and get this Orion Amphitheater, and worked with Huntsville to do all of that. So it would be willing. I mean, it'd be great to have. Looking at next year, we're going to. I think it's Greensboro, North Carolina, or Greenville, North Carolina.
That was South Carolina.
Yeah, Greenville's South Carolina.
There's a Greenville, North Carolina too.
I'm pretty sure it's South Carolina. I could be wrong.
That we're going to.
Hold on, they just sent it.
They just sent it out.
He's yeah, probably, but I would recommend we make sure we have in the budget or something like that we have money for Susan to go and be a part of that, because it's not even, well, I think Leslie would love the trip too, but.
So we were in the process of booking to go, and the day they left fell on a council meeting day. And so there just wasn't a way, like we would have had to have left Wednesday morning, and with it only being Wednesday and Thursday, we wouldn't get there until most of the day Wednesday was over. It just didn't work out this time, but Susan has put it in her budget request for next fiscal
Okay.
year.
It will be great. I've been 2 years in a row, and it's been phenomenal. In fact, our corporate leadership asked me to write up a discussion piece on it so that they can show it to other EDCs to say we should all be doing something like this. But it was great. I think we need to start thinking about that for next year.
Greenville, South Carolina.
Greenville, South Carolina. I don't know why I was thinking North Carolina. The other thing I was going to ask, Encore does shows. We have a big booth in 2 different shows every year. One's in Anaheim, California, and then this year FabTech is in Chicago, Illinois. It's September 8th through 11th. I'd like to discuss possibly getting Susan involved in that. What we do is we have a bunch of EDCs from all over our service territory that will send somebody up there, and they can utilize our booth. We talk about think big, think Texas. Coming to Texas is priority number 1, but you can talk about your town while you're in there. But it also allows you to mingle and get to know all the other EDC people from around the state, because they're there. We do dinners for them. We do all kinds of things. The only cost to the person or the people going is it's $1,000 that would go to Encore, and that is helps with all the fees. We have a branded shirt that we'll send to you, and then the travel. the hotel and travel costs, so. But I think it would be well worth it to discuss getting Susan as part of that, because it would, you know, the networking alone is well worth it.
And we're in the top 25 safest cities in
Yes, we are.
Texas.
Yes.
Love that.
Well, and I think, you know, I don't mean to speak for you, Susan, but for someone who's never done a trade show booth, like to do it with other people who are experienced in it would be
Yes.
incredibly valuable. And
Yes.
probably put some of her nerves at ease on some of those kind of things.
That's
Just thinking about it, it's kind of a little bit overwhelming, but I would have people there with me
Yeah,
who
so-
can
so
mentor
our-
and guide me and
Yes.
help me learn what I'm supposed to do.
So I would make sure that you got with Heather and Sherry on our team to make sure that they, you know, went through everything with you and made sure,
You'll
You-
love it.
you were
You're
you were
gonna
good
love
with everything going on, understood.
Mhm.
It really is a great opportunity in my mind. I don't know y'all could, but I,
Put it on a future agenda. Can't discuss.
Yeah,
Put it
we
on
can.
future agenda.
yes.
Yeah. So,
Okay, anything else on future agenda?
This whole discussion about, where would you put an event space, I think is a pretty
I can-
critical discussion.
I can leave on like the brainstorming and entertainment of event space. I mean, cause that, we could talk about it with that. Cause I assume all three of these items will be coming back until the grand opening is done for sure, and I think retail coach will be ongoing.
We may need to put it on executive session.
Okay.
There's something that maybe you could go south of town where you got a lot more options and it'd be okay. It's on a major highway.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, people in Tyler just have to go a slightly further distance, but,
Again, we can
you
put
gotta
that,
get big property.
we can
like
put
you
that
said.
on the agenda. We gotta stay on the topic.
Yeah, you know.
We're gonna get in trouble.
My bad.
No, it's all right. You were,
You gave factual
you were giving
information.
factual
Factual
information of
information.
what you, and why you wanted it on there.
But to discuss or act, we've got to wait.
Okay.
We
Anything
probably
else?
have a preliminary budget discussion at the next meeting.
Okay.
I will be gone in June.
Got to get another shirt.
Yeah, probably
I'm
the
gonna
whole
go
work
on
really.
Do we need to look at changing the June meeting?
June.
I'll be at TCMA conference.
Cause I'm gonna be gone the 6th through the 26th.
Oh,
Nice.
I've never missed the office that long, so I'm about to have a coronary. Anyway. All
No
right,
date in June that works for me, so no.
okay. So I'm kind of hearing maybe no meeting in June? We go for July?
That's up to,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's fine with me. If
I
everybody's-
think just
Yeah.
punt it unless, you know,
unless something comes up.
unless something comes up. All right, moving on, administrative reports from staff.
sales tax is flat. It's not moving anywhere.
Not going anywhere.
Better than
Going
zero.
down.
Zero's my evil.
That's flat, and of course our balances were in your packet. One thing that this does not reflect is at last meeting I talked about, do we have everything in one account? We have since opened a Texas class account, and we have moved money over in there. It draws a little bit better interest than just our regular checking account.
And it pays interest daily.
Yes.
Cool.
So,
Good, that's good to do.
Any other questions? we don't have anything in executive session, right?
Correct.
So, unless there's something else that somebody has to bring up regarding reports, the time is 12:48 and we are adjourned. See.
This is
Thank you.
a deal on last year's Fab Tech.
Does somebody have a piano?
Leslie, did I
solo?
miss the workshop?